The film begins in 1959 in the city of Hong Kong. By this time, Ip Mund was 66 years old. He lived with his wife and his younger son, Ip Shin, while his older son, Ip Shun, was away in Foshan for school. Ip Mund spent his days teaching Wing Chun, a type of martial arts, to his students. One day, a young man named Li Sholong, also known as Bruce Lee, who had now grown up, came to see Ip Mund at his training place. Bruce Lee came to remind Ip Mund of a promise he made to take him on as a student once he was older. There, Ip Mund questioned why he should accept Bruce Lee as his student. Bruce Lee claimed he had super fast attacks and could be his best student if Ip Mund taught him. While lighting a cigarette, Ip Mund asked just how fast his attacks were. Bruce Lee then demonstrated his quick moves. Suddenly, Ip Mund opened the door to his training area. Bruce Lee, thinking Ip Mund was rejecting him, quickly left. However, Ip Mund was just opening the door and had no intention of kicking him out. Since then, Bruce Lee started learning from Ip Mund since he was 16 years old, from 1956 to 1959. Ip Mund's guidance helped Bruce Lee become a humble and straightforward kung fu master. The next scene shifts to an elementary school named Chi Yund. One morning during recess, two students, Ip Shin and another boy named Chung Fong, got into a fight. Soon after, a teacher named Miss Wong broke up the fight, and the school contacted their parents because of the incident. Later that afternoon, Wing Sing came to see Ip Shin. After Miss Wong explained the situation, Wing Sing asked Chung Fong what his father did for a living, and he said his father was a rickshaw puller. Not long after, Ip Mund arrived in response to the school's call. Seeing that Chung Fong seemed very hungry, Ip Mund asked if he could take him out to eat. He also told Miss Wong to inform Chung Fong's father when he arrived. Then, Ip Mund and his family left with Chung Fong. At Ip Mund's house, during a meal, Chung Fong was treated like part of the family. After they ate, Chung Fong showed off his Wing Chun skills. Even though he wasn't perfect, he still impressed Ip Mund. Ip Mund asked him who his teacher was, and Chung Fong said it was his dad. Soon after, Chung Fong's father, Chung Tin-chi, arrived. He was also a Wing Chun expert, but very different from Ip Mund. For Chung Tin-chi, Kung Fu was mostly about using strength to gain ambition and fame. In contrast, Ip Mund deeply understood the philosophical side of Chinese Kung Fu, which made him a humble and respectful martial arts master. After Chung Fong and Ip Shin apologized to each other, Ip Mund tried to smooth things over by inviting Tin-chi to shake hands. After that, Tin-chi said goodbye and left, seeming friendly but actually feeling jealous of Ip Mund. He even told his son that he would one day be more famous than Ip Mund. The scene then shifts to an illegal fighting venue run by an American named Frank, who was a property developer and a skilled boxer. He employed the Hong Kong Triad gang to manage the place, with a leader named Ma King Sum. At that time, Chung Tin-chi was also fighting there. When Frank arrived, May handed him a bag of money from betting. Frank then discussed his plans to get the land of Chi Yun School to develop into real estate, giving Ma 2 weeks to take control of the land. The next day, during a photo session with other martial arts masters in Hong Kong, Ip Mund received a phone call from his wife. He was actually supposed to go dancing with Wing Sing that day, but because he's always so busy, he often forgets these plans. Frustrated, Wing Sing told Ip Mund she didn't want him to come along anymore and asked him instead to pick up Ip Shin. While Ip Mund was waiting for his son, Tin-chi, who was also there, came over to chat. After saying hello, Tin-chi asked about the Wing Chun school in Foshan, mentioning that he had learned Wing Chun from a student of Long Jund in Foshan as well. Despite having different mentors, Ip Mund still saw Tin-chi as a fellow practitioner. Tin-chi then brought up Chan Hua-shun's style of Wing Chun, noting that it's known for strong punching and staff techniques, but weaker in kicks and swordplay. Ip Mund responded, explained that having strengths and weaknesses in martial arts is completely normal. Then, as Ip Mund was heading home with his son, he noticed Ma and 2 of his men walking towards the school. When they got there, Ma tried to force the principal to sell the school land. When the principal refused, Ma got angry and started to beat him up. Suddenly, Ip Mund stepped in and defeated Ma and his men. He then called the police to handle the situation. Soon after, a policeman named Fatso arrived. After assessing the situation, he talked to Ip Mund and promised to take care of the case. However, the truth was that Fatso and the Hong Kong police couldn't really solve the problem because the police were under Western control. This made it tough for them to handle cases involving Westerners, as they often got protection from their higher-ups. Fatso then asked Ip Mund to help protect the school, and Ip Mund agreed. After that, Fatso and the police left. One night, while Ip Mund and his students were guarding the school, a gang of triads tried to burn down the school and kidnap the principal. At that time, Ip Mund and his students fought them off. During the chaos, Ip Mund noticed Tin Shi fighting against the gangsters who had grabbed the principal. Tin Shi fought them off too. After the gang members were defeated, Ip Mund thanked Tin Shi for his help. Tin Shi coldly responded that he was glad to finally see Ip Mund in action. After the previous events, Tin Shi and Sheng Fong went to check out a place Tin Shi was thinking of renting to open his own Wing Chun school. However, the rent was too high, so Tin Shi decided against it and left. The next day, while Ip Mund was on guard duty, a martial arts master from Hong Kong named Master Tin came to visit him. Master Tin was really upset when he learned about the fight that had happened the night before. It turned out that Ma and some of his gang members used to study at Master Tin's school. Because of this, Master Tin told Ip Mund he was going to confront them and teach them a lesson. He then headed to their main hangout, a shipyard. When Master Tin got to the shipyard, he found Ma and started scolding him, telling him to stop his criminal activities. Ma got very upset and insulted Master Tin by belittling his job as an umbrella repairman. Feeling disrespected, Master Tin slapped him. Angered, Ma pulled out a knife and tried to stab Master Tin, but Ip Mund quickly stepped in, stopped the attack, and restrained Ma. When Ma's gang saw him getting pushed, they quickly surrounded Ip Mund and Master Tin. Just as the situation was heating up, Fatso suddenly arrived and took control. Instead of being intimidated, Ma threatened to report Fatso to his boss, knowing that Fatso's boss worked for Frank. After everything settled down, Fatso explained to Ip Mund that his boss, Edward, was employed by Frank, which is why he couldn't resolve the issue at Chi Yun School. Ip Mund then said that even though the world isn't always fair, that doesn't mean we should just sit back and do nothing. He explained that the world belongs to everyone, not just the powerful and wealthy. Everyone has the right and duty to look after it. His efforts for Chi Yun School were not just for the present, but for the future generations as well. The following day, without Ip Mund knowing, Wing Sing went to the hospital. She had been experiencing stomach pains for a few days. Despite receiving treatment, her pain was getting worse. After a checkup, the doctor suggested that she might have cancer, although it was just a preliminary diagnosis, and they needed to wait for more test results. This news left Wing Sing worried about her health. Meanwhile, in the evening at the illegal fight venue, Ma offered Tin Shi some money. He told Tin Shi that if he wanted the money, he would have to take revenge on Master Tin. Tin Shi, who really needed the money to open his Wing Chun school, agreed to the deal. The next day, Tin Shi went to Master Tin's workplace. After covering his face, Tin Shi locked the place up and attacked Master Tin. Soon after, Ip Mund got a call from Kowloon Hospital informing him that Master Tin was seriously injured and wanted to see him. Ip Mund rushed to the hospital. There, Master Tin told him that he believed Ma was behind the attack. He was surprised when Ip Mund said he came because Master Tin had asked for him. Master Tin clarified that he hadn't called or asked anyone to contact Ip Mund. Realizing this, Ip Mund understood that Ma had tricked him into leaving Chi Yun School. While Ip Mund was away, Ma kidnapped several students, including Ip Chin and Sheng Fong. Ma also assaulted one of Ip Mund's students, Sui Lik, and threatened to sell all the kidnapped children unless the school principal was brought to the shipyard within 2 hours. Soon after the kidnapping, Ip Mund arrived at the scene and quickly learned about what had happened. He then instructed Miss Wong to inform both Fatso and the school principal about the situation. Ip Mund himself headed to the shipyard alone, armed with a stick. When he got there, Ma, realizing that his own son was involved, pulled out a knife and confronted Ip Mund. There, Ma demanded that Ip Mund drop his stick and even kneel before him. Just then, Tin Chi arrived to pick up Chong Fong. Recognizing Tin Chi as one of the fighters, Ma released Chong Fong and told Tin Chi to leave immediately. Ma then challenged Ip Mund to a fight against 11 of his men, promising to return Ip Mund's son if he won. The battle against the 11 men then began. On the way home, Chong Fong urged Tin Chi to go back and help his friends. Tin Chi returned to the shipyard and started fighting Ma and his gang. While Tin Chi was busy fighting, Ma dragged Ip Shin into a warehouse. Seeing this, Ip Mund quickly followed, running to rescue his son. Soon after the fight, Fatso and the police, along with several journalists, arrived at the scene. They quickly arrested all of Ma's men who had been defeated. Fatso then instructed the journalists to take photos and turn the event into a major news story. When he got home, Wing Sing hugged Ip Shin, crying. Her tears were not just because of the kidnapping, but also because she was battling cancer. In a moment of emotion, Wing Sing slapped Ip Mund. Ip Mund didn't react angrily, and instead, he acknowledged his own mistakes in the situation. Seeing Wing Sing continue to cry, Ip Mund tried to comfort her, assuring her that everything would be all right. Wing Sing replied that everything might be fine except for him. Confused by her words, Ip Mund asked what she meant. It was then that Wing Sing revealed her cancer diagnosis, which left Ip Mund speechless. The next day, Wing Sing and Ip Mund went to the hospital to get her test results. The doctor told them that her cancer had spread too much and would be very difficult to treat. Wing Sing then asked how much time she had left. The doctor said she only had about 6 months to live. The scene shifts to Frank talking with Edward, the head of the Hong Kong police. Edward informed him that because the news of the kidnapping had spread, he could no longer protect Frank. Upset by this, Frank angrily lashed out at Ma, hitting him and throwing him out. Afterward, Frank sent a Thai boxer named Sucher to eliminate Ip Mund. The following day, as Ip Mund and his wife were returning from a drugstore, they entered an elevator. Just as Ip Mund was about to close the elevator door, Sucher, sent by Frank, stepped in and immediately attacked him. After defeating Sucher, Ip Mund forced him out of the elevator. Then, Ip Mund and his wife went back home together. Then, Ip Mund met up with Fatso, who had some news that Frank would stop bothering the school, but now he was targeting Ip Mund himself. There, Fatso advised Ip Mund to be extra careful. Realizing Frank was behind the attack by the Thai boxer, Ip Mund decided to confront Frank in his office. Once they were face to face, Frank challenged Ip Mund to see who had the fastest punch. Frank promised that if Ip Mund could last for 3 minutes, he wouldn't bother the school anymore. The fight lasted exactly 3 minutes and ended in a draw. True to his word, Frank agreed to leave Chi Yun's school alone from then on. The scene then moves to Tin Chi, who was paying rent for the place he planned to turn into his Wing Chun school. The landlord, knowing Tin Chi would teach Wing Chun, handed him a newspaper featuring Ip Mund and his Wing Chun school. Seeing Ip Mund in the headlines, Tin Chi felt a little envy. Then he met a reporter named Lee at a restaurant, where many Hong Kong martial arts experts hung out. After saying hello and telling Lee he was a Wing Chun fighter, Tin Chi asked Lee to write about him in the newspaper. He said he wanted to challenge Ip Mund because he believed Ip Mund's Wing Chun wasn't the real deal. Lee responded that all the martial arts experts in Hong Kong really looked up to Ip Mund for his Wing Chun skills. He told Tin Chi that if he wanted a newspaper article about him, he had to prove he was good enough to challenge Ip Mund. Hearing this, Tin Chi was determined to beat all the other martial arts experts in Hong Kong. And so, one by one, he started fighting them to prove he was worthy of challenging Ip Mund. After defeating all of them, Tin Chi started to get famous. Not long after, he opened his own Wing Chun school. At the opening ceremony, Tin Chi invited reporters to help make him even more popular. Being full of pride and ambition, he declared that all his victories were to show he was the best among the Hong Kong martial arts experts. Then he publicly challenged Ip Man to see who truly deserved to be called the Grand Master of Wing Chun. The next day, news about Tin Chi challenging Ip Man started spreading everywhere. That same morning, Ip Man found out about it too, but he cared more about his wife than his reputation, so he decided not to accept the challenge. It was a tough choice, and some people might think he was backing down, but he preferred to stay by his aging wife's side. When the big day came, all the martial arts experts in Hong Kong gathered to see who would be recognized as the real Grand Master of Wing Chun. Since Ip Man didn't show up, Tin Chi was declared the winner by default. In front of everyone, Tin Chi claimed that Ip Man made the right choice by not facing him, suggesting that Ip Man knew Tin Chi was the only one fit to advance Wing Chun in the traditional way. Tin Chi then announced that from now on, he would lead Wing Chun as the true Grand Master. Meanwhile, Ip Man was spending his time differently. He was with his wife, dancing. Even though his reputation was on the line, he chose to dance with his wife because it might be their last chance to do so together. Unfortunately, while they were dancing, his wife, Wing Sing, collapsed and lost consciousness. Her health was deteriorating, so Ip Man rushed her to the hospital. Those moments marked the beginning of some very hard times for Ip Man as he faced these challenges with his wife. One night, without Ip Man knowing, Wing Sing wrote a letter to Chung Tin Chi. She gave the letter to Ip Sheen, who then passed it on to Tin Chi through Chung Fong. In the letter, Wing Sing explained why Ip Man couldn't respond to Tin Chi's challenge earlier. She also mentioned that Ip Man would face Tin Chi on a date she had set in the letter. A few days later, as Wing Sing felt her health worsening, she asked Ip Man to take a photo with her. Hearing her request, he couldn't hold back his tears anymore. In the afternoon after they took their last photo together, Ip Man and Wing Sing spent the afternoon at their training ground. Wing Sing told Ip Man that she was really happy he had spent time with her, but she also didn't want him to have any regrets because of their time together. Shortly after, Wing Sing asked Ip Man if he would accept the challenge if she wasn't sick. Sadly, Ip Man said yes. Wing Sing smiled and set a date for their fight. She told Ip Man to practice with his wooden dummy because she hadn't seen him train in a while and wanted him to be ready. Reluctantly, Ip Man practiced with the dummy. At night, Ip Man and Wing Sing went to Tin Chi to fight him. They got ready to fight and then started. In the end, Ip Man won by using a special punch. Afterwards, Tin Chi broke the Grand Master's nameplate and admitted that Ip Man had won. On the other hand, Ip Man, who never really wanted to fight him in the first place, said that being with loved ones is more important than competing. Hearing this, Tin Chi understood his mistakes. Later in 1960, Wing Sing passed away from cancer. Ip Man had to come to terms with living without her. The film ends. The moral lesson from this film is life's too short to take yourself too seriously, especially when challenging the Grand Master. So, before you throw down the gauntlet, make sure it's not your foot you're putting in your mouth instead.